Did you guys know that Louisiana is no longer considered the prison capital of the world? That was a shock to me. This news hadn't been broadcasted widely, but now that I am aware of it, it makes a lot of things in recent news about Jeff Landry come into question. I think we really need to look into this deeply because of what he is proposing to do this year in the state of Louisiana and how it impacts our young people, our young adults, as well as for all of us, our pocketbooks and our economy. Jeff Landry has been going on and on and on about a high crime rate when in fact from 2020 to 2024, thanks to John Bel Edwards, the local people of various cities and towns in the state of Louisiana, that we have seen a reduction in crime rate and a 25% decrease in the prison population. We've also seen recidivism, as in repeat offenders, has gone down as well, considerably across the board. So why is it that Jeff Landry is making these statements about high crime rates when it's actually not true? The reason is he's trying to garner support for these bills that he's putting in place this year. They're up for vote. They haven't passed yet, and we need to speak out against them because of exactly what they're going to do. They are going to burden our state with expensive prison housing and other expenses. So here's how this works. So the bills that he is proposing, one of them in particular is going to make certain offenses that are considered nonviolent be considered violent offenses now. Now, why is that significant? Because in the state of Louisiana, we have a program that was implemented since 2017 going forward that allows people who are charged with nonviolent offenses to go to a program, get job training, get job placement, get counseling, get health assessments so they can improve their lives if they truly want to. And it's working. That's one of the major reasons why the prison population has declined by 25% in the state of Louisiana. He wants to make sure that fewer people have access to that program. Another thing that he's trying to do is make it possible to jail younger and younger children. So right now, I want to say it's somewhere between 12 and 14. He wants to make it possible for a younger child to go to juvenile detention instead of receiving child protective services and other supports that a younger child would desperately need. So in other words, your 9 or 10-year-old who might be in an abusive household, who is acting out, maybe getting arrested for something, they're not supposed to be treated the same way as someone who is older and better able to make ethical decisions, but he wants to remove that protection from children. He also wants to make it possible to charge a juvenile as an adult at a younger age. Now, some of you may be saying, all three of these things impact people only if they actually commit a crime. It actually doesn't. We know in the state of Louisiana and across the country, there are people who have been wrongly convicted. Large numbers of people have been wrongly convicted. It's been proven when DNA evidence is brought forward time and time again, these people were not actually guilty of the crime, which means a couple of things. Someone could get arrested for not doing a violent crime, not committing any crime. They could be arrested for, as we saw with the young man who got pushed by a police officer while playing in his high school band during a Mardi Gras parade. If he had retaliated against that officer and there hadn't been any footage, he could have gotten arrested and locked up and charged with physical assault and be called a violent offender and not have access to protections. He could have been charged as an adult if these new policies go through. Now, fortunately, that young man had better control over his emotions and his response. His friend came through and gave him the support that he needed. And both of them showed greater maturity, greater wisdom, and greater control of the situation than the police officer who was supposed to be paid to protect them that day on the parade route. This is the reality. This is the situation that they're creating. Now, also, this ties into what's going on in Texas, but I'm going to tie that into a next video. But essentially, very briefly, the Texas legislature is looking at bills to make it easier to arrest people who are undocumented indefinitely. In both cases, what they're trying to do is fill up privatized prisons, which is going to cost billions of dollars in taxpayer money, instead of allowing these people to add to the economy. It has been proven that every individual, whether they are documented or not, is adding to the economy. They are producing money into the economy. Whenever a person is able to get job skills in the state of Louisiana and be given job placement, they produce money for the economy, making it better for all of us. When we have an undocumented migrant who is coming into the state of Texas or Louisiana, they add to the economy. It has been proven. But they don't want you to believe that. They want you to believe that they're a drain on the economy. It has been proven that they bring more money into the economy than anything that they may take or use. But whenever they're locked up in prison, the corporations who own these prisons are making billions of dollars and taking hundreds of thousands of dollars per year per person. And we're the ones paying for it. We are essentially paying for the new system of slavery.